Welcome to this edition of BRCC Today. I'm your host, Tammy Brown, excited to be here. We have some great guests on the show today, and we want to get right into our interviews. Our first interview is with Mr. Wayne Tyson, who is the Workforce Development Coordinator for Turner Industries, and he's going to talk to you about some really good things going on at Turner and how you can get involved. Mr. Tyson.
Thank you, Tammy.
So glad to have you on the show. Now, you know, there's talk about the skilled worker shortage and how there's a need for trained skilled workers and all that good stuff. Talk to us about how Turner's involved and what we can do to get these jobs that are out there.
Okay, well, let me start off for the people who don't know. Turner Industries is a local company privately held by the Turner family. Going into our 53rd year.
Wow.
Been around for quite some time. We provide maintenance and mechanical services to the area petrochemical industry. And we hear all the talk about the shortage of workforce. And the governor said here a few months ago how there's a shortage of 86,000 craftspersons in this area. And it's become a great big stumbling block for people.
Right.
And it's kind of one of those deals that we have to show our clients in the petrochemical industry that we can provide those people, and so that they'll do the work here and they'll make these expansions in the Baton Rouge area. And we partner with BRCC, the old CATC system, and the other training facilities around to try to help get these people. Kind of part of what we do, you know, we average about 18,000 employees a year.
Wow.
And during what we call our turnaround season, we go up over 20,000. So we have quite a few people in this area that have been around for quite some time, and we try to encourage people, especially young people, and to get into this industry. That it's we work with 13 area high schools. We work with all of your campuses here, and let people know that it's a good way to make a living, and that hey, there's good money to be made. It's good steady work, and that as long as people are driving cars and have things that they need, they'll be work in the petrochemical industry.
And you guys are one of the largest employers as far as the contractors?
Yes, sir.
In the area?
Yes, ma'am. Here in Baton Rouge, we are one of the largest in the area. Like I say, we're based out of the Baton Rouge area, and out of the 18, 20,000 people that we run, most of our work is concentrated between Houston, Texas, over to about Mobile. You know, Houston, Lake Charles, Baton Rouge, and Mobile, because of the petrochemical industry.
Right.
I don't know if you know it, but from Baton Rouge to New Orleans, there's 115 petrochemical plants on the river.
Wow, I didn't know that many.
There's 115 of them, which translates into quite a bit of work for people. You know, and we try to let young people know that if they're not headed to college, that there's nothing wrong with being a pipe fitter or a millwright or a welder or using your hands in a trade. You know, I came from a family. My father was a machinist at Exxon, and I don't know if that's what led me into the business, but I ended up in the business in 1976, and have always made a good living at it.
Right.
And you hear now about the shortage of the workforce. We touched on it a little bit earlier, and one of our things that we trying to do is to get people into the business and get them trained. And there's some good programs going right now to where they're having some accelerated training. You know, historically in any type of an apprenticeship program, you worked at day and you went to school at night. Where there's some good programs out there, as you know, on your campus, to where we have people that you can get some accelerated training and complete what may take a couple of years, get it into about a 4-month period, but you have to go every day.
Right.
It's like going to school. You go to school for an 8-hour period each day. And it takes up a lot of time, but it pays off in the long run.
And you guys employ many of our students from BRCC that are going through these skilled training programs. They're getting the credentials from BRCC short-term programs and coming to work at Turner Industries.
To add to that a little bit, it's the NCCR curriculum, which you administer, very familiar with, and it's recognized all the way across the United States. So when they get their credential, it's good in any facility. And that's one good thing about it is it's standard curriculum. It's even taught in some of the high schools, and then they come into your programs and carry on and go on through the other levels of it. It's let's see how I want to put it. It's a good way of getting a good jump into industry. And industries realize that with these shortages coming, hey, we're going to end up, they're talking about between now and the end of 2016, all these people, we're going to end up short a lot of people. and how can we get people into the industry quick. BRCC has stepped up and come up with some of these programs that, hey, by getting them in there, let them spend more time in the classroom rather than that 3 hours a night, twice a week, they can come 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. And condense their training.
And have that credential in a short period. And there's always talk, especially in the Baton Rouge area, because of all the companies on the river there, people wanting to get a plant job. That's always the big conversation, you know, how do I get a plant job? And it's different from what it was 20, 30 years ago, right? Now that having these skills up front is going to open doors much faster than taking that test and waiting.
Right, exactly. And we find in our business a lot of times that they will, your area plants, your Exxons, your Shells, your Motivas and all that, they'll hire from our workforce, which is a good opportunity. We lose people, but good opportunity for people getting into the business. And they get to see people, they get to see their work habits, they get to see that they come to work, that they're good employees, and then they can pick them up, and then they get these good plant jobs that have retirement packages and things like that. So it's a win-win for everybody.
And we do have some students from BRCC here from some of our programs to talk about what the training is like. But I overheard earlier when you're talking with one of the students, so you guys as employers actually go into the classroom and talk with them before they even get their certification.
Sure
So
do.
they're getting this one-on-one FaceTime with major employer while they're getting this training as well.
Great, good point. I went over to your West Side campus, the Port Island campus here about 2 weeks ago and visited with the class, pipe fitting class. It's going to be graduating on February 27th. Well, on February 27th, I got some of our other contract partners, and we'll go over there and have a career fair for them.
Nice.
And gather the information, find out where they're at, what level they're at, geographically where it'd be best for them to work and things like that, and see about getting them placed.
So that's like a win-win. Not only they're getting training, they're getting a job out of the training as well, because they're face-to-face with industry and the training. And I was looking at the training right now for these NCCER certification programs are running from zero, because there are some free ones, up to about $600, averaging around $200 for this training that normally would have cost thousands of dollars back in the day. But now the demand is so high, the opportunity is out there for people who are looking for training and looking to get jobs. And we talked about this, Mr. Wayne, about the different types of training, and you said you would kind of elaborate for those people who don't know, like, for example, millwright. What is that?
Millwright, and one thing that we find, I have a good short story to share on that, a young fellow that we were working with, that they will do what's dual enroll through their high school and getting into one of the programs. And I was looking at him, and he had green fingernails. I said, "Son, what's with the green finger?" He said, "Mr. Wayne, you have to see this, my project." He rebuilt a 1971 Volkswagen ground up, and he painted it green. That's where the green paint came from. But anyway, he was wanting to get into the welding, and I told him, I said, "Have you ever thought about a millwright?" He said, "What's a millwright?" I said, "Well, when you see these plants and facilities, something has to move the product through those pipes. Pumps, that rotating equipment that moves the product around." So got him into it, huge success. He just loves it because it's something that he enjoys. Anybody that likes to work on cars or piddle with things or take things down and repair them, excellent field. And there's a shortage of those too.
So there's millwright, and then there's another, what's the other one? Pipe fitting.
Pipe fitting, and everybody always looks toward the welding. Welders are very, very important, but the fields that we mainly concentrate on are your pipe fitting, welding, millwrighting, and electrical, or what they call E&I, electrical and instrumentation. And we have some partners here in the Baton Rouge area that place a lot of those people because it's kind of a specialty skill, but it's still a good skill for people.
And I noticed that we had some training with the North Baton Rouge Training Initiative, and I know the electrical students got picked up like that, because the people are not looking at that, so to speak, as far as training. They're kind of is overlooked
It's
in the community as far as looking to go training and for new things.
The electrical field is a little bit tougher curriculum. It takes a special person, I might say, to be a E&I, electrical or an instrumentation. And there's some specialty contractors here in town that pretty much have a handle on that kind of work. and there's a big shortage of them.
Right.
You look back in the day when we had apprenticeship programs, and people would get into those apprenticeship programs. They would work for 4 years, finish their apprenticeship program, then they would go into industry.
Right.
And nowadays, it seems that a lot of we had a lack of training, and there's a big push now to bring it back, which is excellent.
Sure.
Because of the shortages that everybody's seeing.
And we're offering this training at BRCC. It's called NCCER training. We have locations in New Roads, Plaquemine, Jackson, Baton Rouge, Baker, Port Allen. We have it throughout the greater Baton Rouge area. These programs, again, can be 2 weeks long up to about 3 months, and you get certifications every interval, like level 1, maybe about 2 weeks to 3 months, and then you have level 1 certification in welding or pipe fitting or millwright or electrical or heavy equipment operator. And then you can move to level 2, 3, and 4, but in level 1 alone, companies like Turner and like Mr. Wayne will come in and actually scoop you guys up. You can be working while getting advanced training.
Exactly.
So it's a win-win situation there. And also, Wayne, what about the people who are currently working? Because isn't there a push for advanced workers, advanced training as well? So people that are working right now in pipe fitting and welding, they're still training for them as well out there.
Oh yes, very much so. There's evening classes for the guys that, whether it be any of the disciplines that we just mentioned, but there's classes for them at night to where they can work during the day. The accelerated daytime classes are special people because you don't have an income unless you have a night job. So you don't really have a daytime income, and you got to target those audiences that can afford to be there, meaning that you don't have a big income for that 3 or 4 months that you're in there. So you got to find the right audience for those classes, whereas your other classes, you work all day and you go to school a couple nights a week, which they're all needed, and it's good to see in this area all the programs that are out there right now, because for the longest it was just a night training, there was nothing else available. Now there's all types of options. There's funding out there that's keeping it very reasonable, very affordable, and in looking and your programs yourself that they're very, very, very affordable to everyone.
Mr. Waynes, thank you so much for all that you do. And you do a lot in the community, and you have a heart for the people. And just thank you so much for all that you do. And Turner Industries, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we will definitely want to have you back on the show again.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Again, that was Mr. Wayne Tyson with Turner Industries talking about BRCC having short-term NCCER training programs for welding, pipe fitting, electrical, millwright, heavy equipment operator, forklift operator. Costs from $0 to around $600. Easy to enroll, flex classes mornings, and we have weekends, days, and evenings. Check it out, www.mybrcc.edu. We're finished with Wayne Tyson. We're definitely going to have him back, and we're going to move to our next guest. Stay tuned just a second. Welcome back to the show. As promised, I have a couple of students from BRCC that are enrolled in the skills training program. The first interview is a student, Laramie Griffin, who is in the pipe fitting program offered by BRCC at the Port Allen campus. Mr. Griffin.
How you doing?
Doing great. A pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, you're looking all nice. Now tell us about pipe fitting. What brought you to that program? What made you go into pipe fitting?
Well, I served in the military first. 2002, 2008, and after that I just did, just mainly concentrate on maintenance. And moving back here, I said, you know what, I really have to get into the industrial industry. I had to get a plant job.
Yeah.
That's what's most around here. So I did my research, and all the research I was doing, the only thing I was seeing that was open was pipe fitters, welders, and maybe some electricians and engineers. So, and the first thing I saw, I said, what is a pipe fitter? I didn't even know what it was. The other jobs I knew, but a pipe fitter I had no idea. So I did a little bit more research, and I found out it's something that I wanted to get into. So I talked to some friends and called around. They said pipe fitter does this. I watched some YouTube videos, and not too long after, just looking for other regular jobs, just doing maintenance. A friend called me up, a relative called me up on a Friday. Mm-hmm. He said, hey, there's a pipe fitting course given at BRCC for free. Mm-hmm. I said, okay. And after that, we hung up the phone. I had no idea. I had no no phone number, no contact. I didn't know where it was. So that weekend, I kind of, called them back and texted them and say, hey, where's this place? Do you have anything? And on Monday morning, I showed up, and, here I am.
And you didn't know anything about pipe fitting. You didn't even know much about the trade. You never had experience in it. Because a lot of people see these programs and think they had to know something first to go into pipe fitting.
No, you can not even know the right end of a hammer. You can go in just fresh, just anyone who wants to learn a skill that, they can be proud of, and that can, get them into the plan, make them some money and, become a very, very steady job.
I do want to say thank you for serving our country.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And as a veteran, you're able to get some veterans benefits as well, right, while you're taking this training?
Yes, I use the Montgomery GI Bill.
Oh, yeah.
And since the pipe fitting course I'm taking during the day is free, there's no tuition given back from the Montgomery GI Bill, but there is basic allowance housing that is given monthly to those who have the Montgomery
So you
GI
get a
Bill.
stipend while you're taking this class.
Right.
And so, and that would be not just for the pipe fitting, but for any of our programs, the
Right.
welding and all of that. So for veterans out there, they definitely might want to take advantage of this because they
Yes.
have money waiting for them to go to school. And
Right.
we've got the training,
Right.
and then we have Mr. Tyson, he's got the jobs. It's a nice little hookup, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Most
so,
definitely.
Yeah, so when you came into the program, was it what you expected? Were you overwhelmed? What was it like?
As far as working with my hands, that's what I knew about the job, working with my hands, and just the things, when I go to a new career or whatnot, I try to transfer things I learned in the military because I learned a lot. Pay attention to detail, being able to work with a team or, by yourself, and also just taking pride in your work as we're doing a lot of practical work, and after you finish a job, you say, hey, look, I did that.
So what certification will you have in the pipe fitting class when you complete?
When I complete, I will have pipe fitting level 1 and 2.
1 and 2, okay.
Yes,
and
yes,
how long
ma'am.
would that take you?
That would take about 4 months. We started around mid to late October, and because of the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, we're going to be finishing up February 27th. So if you take away about a month worth of holidays, it's come out about 4 months.
4 months. That's awesome. So it's a free training program that you're taking. The Veterans Bill is Veterans GI Bill is actually giving you a stipend to go.
Right.
Again, you have a job set up to go, and then
Right.
also you have a national certification because this
Right.
the training that you're getting, you're going to be on the registry.
Right.
That's all over, like Mr. Wayne said earlier, all over the nation,
Right.
and so you can go to work anywhere in the world with these skills.
Yes, 100%. And that's the one thing that really pulled me in is that, and also it doesn't expire either.
It does, and because I guess this doesn't change that much, right?
No, yeah.
And then you have you're doing level 1 and 2. There's also level 3 and 4.
Right,
You
there's
plan to
also-
do that as well?
Yes, if the opportunity comes at the right time, and I'll take it on. So.
And then you'll be making more money than everybody all over. So there's a lot of opportunity out there. Mr. Griffin, thank you so much for being on
you're
the
welcome.
show.
You're
I know
welcome.
you're going to
Appreciate
do
it.
us proud. Thank you for serving our country as well.
Oh, no problem.
Again, that was Mr. Griffin, a BRCC student in pipe fitting, who was a former veteran and now using the GI Bill to get some training to get a good job right here in Baton Rouge. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, so don't go away. Welcome back to the show. Tammy Brown, your host here, BRCC Today. My next guest, I'm so excited about interviewing. Her name is Miss Sharon Butler, and she is a pipe fitting student, again, at BRCC, the Port Allen campus, and she's enrolled in pipe fitting. Miss Sharon, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
So you are in pipe fitting,
Yes.
and how long have you been in the program?
For about 3 to 4 months.
And so you just like Mr. Griffin, are getting ready to
We are
get
getting ready to come out.
How are you liking it?
I love it.
And you don't mind me saying this, right? I'll ask you, how old are you?
I don't know if I want to tell it, but I'm 70.
70 years old,
Uh-huh.
and you enrolled in the pipe fitting class.
Yes. I
And-
don't know why I did it, but I did.
But you're loving it. If you went this long, you definitely must be doing something right, because if you didn't like it, you would have stopped. So
Oh,
did you
no.
know anything about pipe fitting before you went in the
Not a
class?
thing. I didn't know anything about pipe fitting.
And so now what are you thinking while you're in there? Is it are you like excited that you're doing something new, or have you always done stuff like this, hands-on? Is it something real new for you?
No, I've never done anything like this.
Wow.
but it's just something in me. I'm always ready to try something different and new, and it maybe might be interesting and might not be interesting. I don't know.
And you're
But I
interested in
really
it.
liked it, and the guys in the class, they are so helpful. They'll come over and say, Miss Sharon, I'll help you with that. Can I help you with that, Miss Sharon?
I'm inspired. I love it. Of course, the moral is you're never too old to go to school. You can always go to college.
You're never too old. If you have a good mind about yourself and your good strength and everything, and you can do anything you want to do if you put your mind to it.
I love it. Now, were you nervous when you were going in the classroom?
No, I wasn't nervous.
You
at
just
all.
walked in there and said, I'm
Walked
running
in.
this. I got this. I love it. 70-year-old. This lady is enrolled in the pipe fitting program, BRCC pipe fitting program. 70 years old, and she is doing a great job there. So, when you finish in February, are you looking to go on the job or further your career, further your training?
Yes, I would like to get a job.
You're going to be on the
the
job and
field.
you're going to have a certification. You're going to be nationally certified.
Oh yes,
So all over the nation, they're going to know Miss Butler.
yes,
They can hire Miss Butler.
yes. They can send for me. I'll go.
I love that you're in this program, and I say so many times because it is the truth. On all of our programs at BRCC, we've had 80-year-old students and 70-year-old students in automotive and drafting and welding, and this is the first time we have one on the show. She's 70 years old in pipe fitting and doing well and enjoying it. This is Miss Butler. Miss Butler, so I want to ask you, for people out there watching, maybe people in your age range, and they're thinking they're just home, not doing anything, they're not sure what to do. What would you say to them? Somebody your age that's just maybe doesn't even leave the house much, just kind of staying home and not out there doing things. What would you say to them?
I would encourage them to get up and go out and check it out. See, you might like it and you might not. It's worth a try. I mean, and the guys there, they are so helpful. All of them are so helpful. They all always come in and ask me, Miss Butler, get Miss Sharon. He's calling me Sharon. Can I help you with anything? Can I help you do this or help you with that? Let me show you how you do this. Let me show you how you do that. But they are so nice, and I really thoroughly enjoy them.
And I know they feel the same about you. You probably bring a spirit in that class that's just so, that changes the environment. Because you know what, when we had a 70-year-old instructor, a gentleman that was, not instructor, a student in the automotive program, and all the younger, because there's a lot of younger kids in that program, young people in that program, just when he would walk in, I'm sure it's the same with you, it's like, yes, because he just brings a certain spirit and makes everybody out happy. And that's just so blessed. It's a blessing to have you in the program, and I know that you're doing well because you're still there, right? And you're going to finish out. You're going to get a job in the field, and you may even further on and go from level 1, level 3, level 4.
Who knows what tomorrow holds?
I really want to thank you for being on the show, and thank you for being an inspiration to people 70 years old out there, still in school. She doesn't look 70. That's the thing. She really is. We're not making it up. And look, anyone out there, there's no reason why you can't go to college. I don't. With age can't stop you. Let's say you don't know anything about the craft. We've already explained to you that you don't have to know anything about any of these programs: pipe fitting, welding, electrical. We start you ground level up. Check it out at BRCC. We have campuses all over the greater Baton Rouge area.
Right.
When we don't want you guys to go away, we'll be right back in a minute, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. I'm Tammy Brown, your host, BRCC Today. Our next guest is a young lady who's enrolled in the welding NCCER curriculum at the Port Allen campus, Miss KeAundra Murray. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Hello.
Hello, hello. So now tell us, you're in the welding program.
Yes, ma'am.
What led you to that program?
Because it's not very many women that do take up welding, and I just wanted to be that one.
To try something different.
I'm always thinking outside the box.
You got to do it. You got to do that. Now you are a veteran of the. You're currently in the military.
Yes, ma'am.
You're in the what branch?
Army Reserve.
Thank you for serving our country. Very important.
No problem.
And so you're taking up this welding class, and also our prior guest was a veteran, so he received GI Bill. But you're saying even though you're active, you're still getting some funding while you're taking this training?
Yes, in my contract, it states that as long as I attend school, that I will get a stipend every month.
Wow. So you're going to learn all this extra, these extra skills that will, better you for another job. Plus, you're getting money from the military, and plus, you may be able to use this in the military as you progress on, if you decide to do that.
Yes, I do plan on changing my job eventually to the military call it metal worker.
Okay. And so you'll move on to that occupation in the military.
Yes, ma'am.
And this welding training is definitely going to help you.
It's going to help me a lot.
Great. And that's why I wanted you on the show, because there are lots of people out there who are in the military who can take advantage of this stipend and be able to go to school. And this is a free program, so be able to get training for free and actually get that stipend and further their career in the military. And so, has it been difficult being a young lady in the class?
Not really. I guess because I done already done a lot of tough things.
Right, well, being in the military
and
yeah.
stuff. So it's not as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Because I just threw myself in it, not knowing really what to do.
And even though you didn't know.
And it's really not as bad as I thought. Although I am the smallest in my class, they be picking on me.
Oh, don't pick on her.
They be like, "You sure you can hold it?" I be like, "Yes."
But you got it.
I got this.
All right, now so you and Miss Sharon is or she's in a separate class from you. She's in the pipe fitting, but you're in the welding program. Are you the only young lady in that particular class?
No, ma'am.
There's
It's two other ladies in the class.
And when you were, how old are you now?
I am about to be 22.
About to be 21. So when you were in high school, did you ever think you would take welding?
In high school, I didn't think I would do a lot of things that I've done.
Yeah. So that wasn't even in the cards.
Becoming a nail tech wasn't in it, joining the military wasn't in it, and welding wasn't in it. It was just to finish college and go ahead with my degree.
But you're like most people in life. Your path of life takes you where you need to be, and this is where you need to be right now. And you'll be able to make a whole lot of money if you stay in that field, and of course further your training as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So any words you'd like to say to young ladies out there who are not sure what they want to do, if you think they might be interested in this welding, what would you say to them?
I would say go ahead and try it. I mean, you never know. You might like it, you might not, like she said earlier. But I just say keep on going until you find what you like. That's what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
Keep it on moving till I find something that I like.
Yeah, and you know what I've learned is you really can't find success unless you embrace failure. Like, you have to really be able to be great in life, you have to be able to embrace failure. If you mess up, you say, okay, that's a step, I'm going in this direction, as opposed to sitting back and saying, I'm afraid. You got to step out there, right?
You got to step out.
So for everyone watching, we've given you every reason why you should go to college, no matter what your scenario is, whether you're a young lady interested in skills, a gentleman out of the military, a veteran looking for the upgraded skills, someone in their 70s looking to further their career or try new things. BRCC has training in all these areas. We have welding, pipe fitting, heavy equipment operator, forklift operator, electrical at campuses all over the greater Baton Rouge area. Check it out. www.mybrcc.edu. This is Tammy Brown signing off. We'll see you next time.